Good evening, everyone, and welcome into another KDSJ sports broadcast as we get set for our high school volleyball match of the week. This week, we come to you from the Belle Fourche High School gym as the Belle Fourche Lady Broncs are getting set to take on the Spearfish Lady Spartans in an inter-class matchup here on this Tuesday night, and a Black Hills Conference battle between these two teams here in the northern Black Hills as we get set for our varsity game coming up at around 7 o'clock. So we have our countdown to first serve. It's being brought to you this evening by Jake's Collision Repair. It's our pregame show, and Jake's Collision Repair is the Black Hills home team for collision repairs, located at 4415 East Colorado Boulevard in Spearfish, and now fixed at 32 at Junction Avenue in Sturgis. I'm Cody Oliver with you back again for Spearfish Spartan Sports on a Tuesday night, being joined by Clayson Davis over on KDSJ-TV, as we have both radio and TV covered for you here on this Tuesday night and our high school volleyball match of the week.
Yep, thank you, Cody. Back here in Belle Fourche. Seems like we were just here not too long ago. Of course, we did Belle Fourche and Custer. Now we got another Black Hills Conference rivalry. Two teams that know each other very, very well. A lot of these girls know each other. A lot of the students here, both student sections are here and pretty popping here today. So as we're just watching the JV team compete now, but no, it's going to be, I feel like it's going to be a fun one. With a rivalry game in any sport, you kind of got to throw the records out the window, and it could be anyone's game. So excited to really get this one rocking and rolling here in Belle Fourche.
The Spearfish Lady Spartans come in riding a 15-match winning streak with a record of 16-5 overall and 7-1 in Black Hills Conference play under head coach Shelby Budmeyer Richards. She's no stranger to this gym at all, as she was a former Belle Fourche Bronc herself, so she'll be going up against former coaches on the other side. She knows fans in the stands, so she knows this place pretty well. As the Belle Fourche Lady Broncs kind of in a rebuilding mode this year under head coach Lori Schlickmeyer in her 17th year as head coach of the Lady Broncs. They're 3-17 on the season and 2-9 in Black Hills Conference contests. Well, we had a chance to catch up with both coaches before this varsity match, so as our countdown to first serve continues, being brought to you by Jake's Collision Repair, we'll let Clayson Davis take care of things over on the Spearfish side of things, as he had a chance to catch up with the head coach of the Lady Spartans, Shelby Budmeyer Richards, will join us next with Clayson Davis on KDSJ Sports.
Jake's Collision Repair has built their reputation by offering the highest quality, guaranteed repairs in the area. Satisfied customers return again and again for everything from collision repair to custom paint, glass and windshield, and the best hail repair in the region. They're preferred by most insurance companies and work with all of them. Jake's Collision Repair of Spearfish and Sturgis. Give them a Google today for the best repair on your vehicle, guaranteed.
Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is here to help you make your comeback. In order to perform your best on and off the field, your body needs to stay hydrated. Watch for signs of dehydration such as decreased energy, poor coordination, or muscle cramps. Remember that hydration comes from everything you consume, not only from beverages, but also from food. Sports drinks are also beneficial as they contain carbohydrates, sodium, and potassium. Nutrition experts at Monument Health can help athletes of all ages and skill levels understand their fueling and hydrating needs.
Collision Repair has built their reputation by offering the highest quality, guaranteed repairs in the area. Satisfied customers return again and again for everything from collision repair to custom paint, glass and windshield, and the best hail repair in the region. They're preferred by most insurance companies and work with all of them. Jake's Collision Repair of Spearfish and Sturgis. Give them a Google today for the best repair on your vehicle, guaranteed.
No matter what life throws in your direction, Dana Dental Arts and Spearfish reminds you to make you and your family's dental health a top priority. Putting off small problems now can lead to big ones later. We are small enough to feel like family, but big enough to bring you the latest technology. Before your lives get too hectic with school, sports, and other extracurricular activities, schedule a comprehensive exam now. We love our patients. Celebrating 50 years of dentistry in Spearfish.
Let our family care for your family.
Back to our Jake's Collision Repair pregame show. I am now joined by head Spearfish volleyball coach Shelby Richards. And Coach Richards, thank you for joining us here on our pregame show.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad to be here.
So last contest, you guys won 3-1 against Sturgis for the second time this year. How pleased were you with your team's performance?
We started off a little slow, and looking back, I think that first set loss was good for us. It was a good humbling moment, knowing that we have to come out and play all the time, no matter who we're playing against. But I was definitely very proud of them not giving up and kind of going into that mental slump that we can do at times. So by the end of the night, I was very satisfied with our play. It just took us a little bit to get going.
You guys haven't played for a week, as that game was on last Tuesday. So what has your team gotten better at within a week's time?
We really focused on our serve receive, and then we actually put our hitters in some different situations, kind of just advancing our skills on finding the block while we're in play and making sure that we're able to work around those things, and then just taking our time to make sure our hitter-setter connection is there. So just kind of took the time to broke down some things, did a little team bonding exercise too. They painted pumpkins. So we had some fun in there for sure, but going a week without playing is not something we're used to. So I'm kind of curious to see how they're going to come out tonight against Belle.
Any injuries you guys have been facing during this week off?
No, actually, we've been very healthy, knock on wood, which is a great thing for us, but so nothing there, just kind of working on. Avery Kirk had that back injury, or it wasn't really an injury. She was just kind of sore that weekend we were in Mitchell. So just made sure she did a lot of stretching and rehab on that so we don't have that going forward in the season.
You guys come in today's game with a 15-game win streak. So what has been the major keys to your success during that span?
It's been super fun. It's definitely been a team atmosphere is kind of what's helped us make that make that a 15-win streak for us. But the girls have really bought in on next ball mentality, and I think I've said it a few other times, but that's something this program has struggled with when I was the freshman coach, and then something we've been working on for 3 years, and they've really bought into that, and just understanding that no one is mad. You're always mad at yourself more than anybody else. So just kind of moving on to the next ball no matter what happens, but making sure we're bettering it. So I think that's been part of our biggest success. And we are in a rotation that we've been in since the second weekend now. So the girls are really finding fluidity between each other, knowing what's who's taking what. And it's just been super fun and lighthearted, but they also know they got to put their nose down and get the job done.
As Coach Richards joins us for our Jake's Collision Repair pregame show with our Laying the Foundation segment, brought to you by Heiserling Concrete. Talk about the performance of your upperclassmen, including your libero, Brooklyn Yackley, who leads the team in digs, Adelman Bowman, a junior, who leads the team in kills, and Avery Kirk, a senior, who's second in the team in kills, and just talk about the performance of all your upperclassmen as a whole this year.
Yeah, looking at our team, we have the two seniors, like you said. Brooklyn Yackley is our libero. She's done a phenomenal job. She's a true libero. She sees things. She's picking up digs. She brings a very positive energy to the team. And when she gets kind of frustrated, our whole team goes. And that's a lot of pressure, too, because she is on the court at all times for those middles. But she's really stepped into that role for us. Avery Kirk, it's really cool, actually, thinking about Avery Kirk. She's been on the varsity court since her sophomore year. But this is the first time she's played all the way around, which you usually don't see. You don't see a lot of time a true middle that she was transition into an outside all the way around. So that's just kudos to her, and it really shows how much of an athlete she is, and that she's continued to get better in the off seasons to allow herself to be that six-person rotation for us. Addie Bowman, she's also been on the court since her sophomore year. She's big no matter what. She's really good at seeing the court and getting around any block, finding openings, but then she can turn it on in the back row for us too. The rest of them are all juniors except for Addie Keller. She is a sophomore for us outside. She's been doing a phenomenal job. That's a big jump for her, going from just some freshman ball, a little bit of C team to the varsity level. So she's had to learn pretty quick how fast our game is. But with the girls being so supportive, they have definitely helped her catch on to things and kind of move on from her own mistakes because, again, she's the youngest one on the court with the least amount of experience. But looking across the board, we have Faith Hoffman. She's probably one of the shortest right sides in the AA class that plays all the way around, but she jumps really well. She has great court sense because she was a setter before, taking on this new role. And then we have Tabby in the middle. She's a great block presence. She gets a touch no matter what's happening. So it definitely is a big team driven goal, and it starts with all of them, and that's been one thing really fun to see them do. And I'm pretty stoked that we all have juniors and sophomores with our 2 seniors, so we're getting a lot of experience moving forward into next year as well.
Defensively, you haven't allowed opponent to win more than 2 sets in a match during this 15-game win streak. In fact, the last time you've allowed 2 sets won by the opponent was Douglas, Wyoming, which, of course, was also your guys' last loss. So defensively, what has been the key to this win streak?
Very scrappy and the go mentality. We talk a lot about a ball, body with a ball. So you'll surprise yourself if you just go. If you don't even make an attempt on the ball, you'll never get the touch. But if you actually give yourself a chance, they've kind of bought into that defensive mindset of just going. And that's where we play scrappy, which then turns around into our offense, gets big kills. But it starts with the defense. I know everybody likes the big kills in volleyball, but it really does start on the defensive end. And we have talked about defense since the first practice and understanding that we have to make defensive plays to give our offense a chance. And I think it just goes back to that next ball mentality. Looking at those sets that we lost, Douglas, I would love to get that game back. I think it'd be a different match for us. That day was kind of a hodgepodge. The bus broke down, going to Gillette. So it kind of started off a little rocky for us, but, I think just the next ball mentality has really made sure that we don't let teams go on a run. And if they do, it's only 3-4 points, where in the past we've seen them go on 7 to 8, even 9-point runs. So that's been the huge difference in those that we've come out on top for sure.
Turning our attention to the Lady Broncs tonight, what do the Lady Broncs bring to the table that you guys have to prepare for?
When you look at Belle, Schlichtmeyer has been coaching a long time, and I used to play for her. So I kind of know the culture and atmosphere that Belle has, and they're having a little bit more of a down year this year, but that doesn't mean we can overlook them at all, because I do know that they're working every day in practice. And then, you always add the rivalry, the rival to the layer of the play. So just making sure that we stay true to ourselves and make sure we're ready, because I think they're going to be really scrappy and give us more off-speed shots where, in our gym, when we're practicing, even with our JV team, it's a lot more hard-driven balls. And so when it's more off-speed shots, a little bit more unorthodox, we catch ourselves on our heels. So we just got to make sure that we're ready for anything to come and just stay true to ourselves.
Awesome. Anyways, that's all I have. And good luck tonight, Coach Richards, with your contest versus Belle.
Awesome. Thank you.
That was head coach.
And thanks to Clayson Davis for covering the Spearfish Spartans side of things, catching up with head coach Bud Meyer Richards earlier today right here on KDSJ Sports, as the Spearfish Spartans come in winning 15 games in a row. The last time they lost was on September 6th over in Wyoming at Gillette, when they lost to Douglas, Wyoming. Their last loss to a South Dakota school was Hill City back on September 3rd. They come in 16-5 on the season, ranked right there at about the number 7 spot in the state when it comes to the power points, and they have 42.4 power points compared to Sioux Falls Jefferson, who's the number 1 team in the state. They have 45.3. Spearfish is 8-5 on the road this year, so not a long road trip here tonight to come up to Belle Fourche, but they have been pretty good on the road, and against teams that are below 500, which Belle Fourche is, they're 11-0. So they should be able to win this matchup tonight if you believe in all the stats. For the Belle Fourche Broncs, under head coach Lori Schlichtmeyer in her 17th season as head coach of the Lady Broncs, they're really leaning on their senior libero, Kaylee Nowajeski, the only senior on the squad this year for the Lady Broncs. And she's going to be part of the starting lineup that has a few juniors, a couple of sophomores, and then there's just one freshman on the roster, but she gets to start as well. That's Kaylee's younger sister, Maya Nowajeski. She is a freshman and the outside hitter that is likely to get the start tonight. We'll double check our Dana Dental Arts starting lineups here right before first serve to make sure everything is correct. As we continue with things here at the Belle Fourche High School gym, you just heard the Belle Fourche High School pep band. They're just off to the right of us here at the Belle Fourche Armory, so up close and personal to especially the horn section here at the Belle Fourche High School gym, as we have our Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth, thanks to Monument Health, the official sports medicine provider to several area high schools in the Black Hills and northeastern Wyoming. Let's continue to lay the foundation for this matchup. We talked about the Spearfish Spartans. Now let's dive into the Belle Fourche Lady Broncs. They're coming off of a season where they went 21-12. So far, they're 3-17 through 20 games so far. They're 2-9 in Black Hills Conference play. You break it down a little bit more into Class A, Region 8. Right now, they're sitting 6th out of 7 teams in the region. They're just ahead of Lee Deadwood and behind Rapid City Christian. Belle Fourche right now at 3-17 on the season. 2 of those 3 wins have come against the Lee Deadwood Gold Diggers. And Belle Fourche right now at 36.8 seed points. Number 1 is Hill City in the region, who has 45.3 seed points. So there's quite the difference between 1 and 6 in the Region 8A. The Belle Fourche Lady Broncs are looking for their first home win of the season. They're 0-5 here at the Belle Fourche High School gym. But they're going to have to pull off an upset. This is the first time they've seen the Spartans this year, as Belle Fourche is 3-17 on the season. Their 3 wins have come against Wall, which was their last win on September 28th, and then they've defeated Lee Deadwood back on September 14th and August 29th. They haven't got a victory yet here in October. We'll see if they can get it tonight as they host the Spearfish Spartans in a Black Hills Conference rivalry. And they take on Red Cloud coming up on Thursday. Chatting with Coach Slickmeyer earlier today, and some of their stat leaders in serving, leading them in aces is Sid Pelster with 34 aces. Denali Larson is second with 25 aces. In kills, Reagan Hatling leads the team with 97 kills. Maya Nowajeski has 86. She is the freshman. Kaylee Nowajeski, the senior, has 223 digs on the season, so one of their main defensive players. Aurora Boyles has 161 digs on the season for second on the team. In blocks, Reagan Hatling has 21 blocks. Maya Bush has 14. They lost 8 players to graduation from last year's roster, so they're young with varsity experience, with only the 1 senior and quite a few juniors and sophomores filling in the role players. They've been focusing on getting better with each and every match they play. We saw it match number 1 that we had here on the season back in August. We've covered them again when they took on, I believe it was Custer?
Yes, the Custer Wildcats.
And then they're going up against Spearfish tonight. We hopefully continue to see that improvement.
Yeah, as long as you're playing your best ball at the ending of the year, then that's all that matters. As Belle Fourche, very young team, again relying on the 1 senior, which is your libero, which really helps on the defensive side of the ball, but offensively puts a lot of responsibility and a lot of pressure on your younger athletes, especially with your outside hitters. Last game, Reagan Hatling, she was kind of more or less the main scorer for the Lady Broncs against the Custer Wildcats. Be looking for her, the middle hitter, the tallest girl on the team at 5'10". And of course the freshman, Maya Nowajeski, she's only 5'5", but she can jump out of the gym, as they'll be looking to her and serve a lot of serves her way as well in this game tonight.
And the girls for the Belle Fourche Broncs, they've been working really hard. So Coach Slickmeyer is hoping that they will be able to get their best going in the next 3 weeks, as the regular season will be wrapping up here at the end of October. And then it's when you move on in the playoffs, lose, you're done. So they're hoping to knock off some opponents here over the next few weeks. But they got to go game by game and get better by better, as tonight they're 3-17, going up against the 16-5 Spearfish Lady Spartans, who come into the contest riding a 15-match winning streak. We have it for you tonight with our high school volleyball match of the week. It's the Spartans and the Broncs. Join us as we continue with a Jake's Collision Repair countdown to first serve when we return in 3 minutes right here on KDSJ Sports.
Whether you've lived here for years or if you're new to town, everyone wants to know the best place to buy a quality pre-owned car, truck, and SUV, or where to go to have your current ride kept in shape. Brandon Kemp here from Superior Auto Solutions in Spearfish. Need new tires? We got them, all major brands. Your brakes squeaking, or do you just hear something that's not quite right? We can help. Or maybe you're looking to upgrade to something a little more suitable. Well, you came to the right place. Superior Auto Solutions on Colorado Boulevard in Spearfish, or find us online at superiorautost.com.
Quality food at a fair price. That's what you expect, and that's what you'll get at the Millstone Family Restaurant in Spearfish. Perfect for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or to grab a bite to eat before or after the game. Choose from daily specials, and a trip to the fresh soup and salad bar is always a hit. Plus, the Millstone can accommodate larger groups, like buses or your next meeting in their private party room. So, if it's just you and a friend or the whole team, get a great meal at a great price. The Millstone Family Restaurant in Spearfish.
American Colloid, a minerals technologies company, is not only part of the community we live in, they are the community. Bentonite clay, mined right here in our own backyard near Belle Fourche in Colony, Wyoming, provides a contributing factor to this area's economic success. This unique product has a huge range of uses, from the main component in cat litter to health and beauty products, pharmaceuticals, and more. It's all produced right here in all of our community. American Colloid Company, working together, winning together.
At Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, we are here to help you make your comeback. Our team is standing by to diagnose and treat your injury with some of the most advanced treatment options available and same-day appointments. Monument Health practitioners work closely with our therapists and physicians in communities throughout the Black Hills, with locations in Rapid City and Spearfish. Visit monument.health/orthopedics for more information. That's monument.health/orthopedics for more information.
You see them everywhere. That's because Heinzerling Concrete of Spearfish is the most trusted name for everything from driveways, sidewalks, decorative stamp patios, and of course, foundations. Heinzerling Concrete is proud to support the activities that help our area youth build their foundation for future success. Whatever the job, Heinzerling Concrete is the name you can trust. Google Heinzerling Concrete in Spearfish or call 210-2320.
Beef Logic, Inc. is proud to sponsor South Dakota's high school and collegiate athletes this season as they work alongside their partners at the South Dakota Beef Industry Council to deliver the Build Your Base Sports Nutrition Program at local high schools and colleges around the state and the country. Are you looking for a simple, easy-to-follow program that can help you and your family optimize performance both on and off the field of play? Check out buildyourbase.org and learn why beef continues to be the premier protein for athletic performance and recovery.
And welcome back, everyone, to the Belle Fourche High School Gym. It is the Belle Fourche Armory, the site of our high school volleyball match of the week tonight. Right here on KDSJ Sports, we have you covered on KDSJ 980 AM, 103.5 FM in the northern Black Hills, as well as KDSJ980.com, and with the KDSJ Sports mobile app. And live tonight over on TV, you can watch it for free. KDSJ-TV is on YouTube and Facebook Live tonight. Let's have a look at your starting lineups. We'll start first with the Spearfish Spartans, as our lineups are being brought to you tonight by Dana Dental Arts, where a beautiful smile is always in style. Getting the start, we talked about her in the pregame show. Brooklyn Yackley, the senior libero, at 5'6", will get the start. Also getting the start will be Adeline Bowman, the junior outside and middle hitter at 5'6". Number 4, Callie Reiners, the standout setter, is 5'7" junior. Also getting the start will be number 8. That is Faith Hoffman. She is a junior defensive specialist. She is a setter, as well as they go with that rotation that they've gone with for most of the season. She's 5'4". Also starting for Spearfish will be number 11, Avery Kirk. She's a senior outside hitter and middle hitter. Coach Richards talked about her going all the way around on that outside. She is a 5'9" outside hitter. And then also getting the start will be number 12. That's Tabitha Zanstra. She is a junior middle hitter. And the final girl to get the start will be number 15, Addison Keller. She's a sophomore outside hitter and stands at 5'8". So those are your 7 starters for the Spearfish Spartans under head coach Shelby Budmeyer Richards. Coming back to her old stomping grounds and in the gymnasium where she was pretty good playing volleyball as well, as they go with Yackley, Bowman, Reiners, Hoffman, Kirk, Zanstra, and Keller. For the Belle Fourche Lady Bronx, under head coach Lori Schlickmeyer in her 17th season as head coach of the Bronx, she'll go with Kaylee Nowajeski. The lone senior will be the libero. Sid Pelster will be the junior setter at 5'5". Getting the start will be number 3, Denali Larson, the junior middle hitter at 5'9". Starting number 5, freshman Maya Nowajeski, an outside hitter at 5'5". Reagan Hadley wearing the number 7 jersey. Hadley is a junior middle hitter at 5'10". Maya Bush gets the start in the right side, sophomore, 5'7". And wearing number 19 is Aurora Voiles. She is the sophomore outside hitter at 5'7". Couple Nowajeskis as well as Pelster, Larson, Hadley, Bush, and Voiles are your starting lineup tonight for the Belle Fourche Bronx. And under head coach Lori Schlickmeyer, that's your starters, being brought to you by Dana Dental Arts, where a beautiful smile is always in style. We're underway. Here's their first serve up by Reiners. Comes over here to the Belle Fourche side, and we are getting underway here at 7:12 p.m. on a Tuesday night at the Belle Fourche Armory. Always a loud gym, and since they've done some different acoustics in here, I think it's gotten louder, and probably guaranteed you heard the pep band as they were just a few steps away from us. Belle Fourche with the attack to the back, and getting a hand up in the air was Avery Kirk. So that will be off of her. It goes behind her to the back wall, and that's a point for the Belle Fourche Bronx. Their first point. Spearfish started off the scoring. Now the Bronx with a point as we're tied up by 1.
Yeah, so far if you're Belle Fourche, you need to get off to a quick start, especially against this Spearfish squad who they build off of momentum. I see a block there by the Bronx, but again, if you're Spearfish, definitely want to get out to a lead early as they started off slow versus Sturgis, and this could be a sneaky good Belle Fourche team.
And that one gets inbounds to the back row. Point for the Spearfish Lady Spartans as they take the lead early, 2-1. Now back to serve will be Addie Bowman, the junior outside hitter and middle hitter. She's one of the starters at 5'6". She goes to the other side of the floor and serves up an ace for the Spartans.
Yeah, good job by Addie Bowman again on the ace. She's been doing that really the whole year. She's been really good from the service line for the Spearfish Spartans, and see if she can do it again.
That was Clayson Davis. He's taking care of KDSJ-TV. He also had coverage of the Spearfish Spartan football game last Friday night, win against Douglas. And we'll tag team it again this Friday night in Pierre. As Belle Fourche gets it over in 3. Now here comes Spearfish as they go to the middle hitter. Yackley with a little different way of getting it over, but it counts. And now Belle Fourche gets it blocked at the net. But a point for the Belle Fourche Bronx as the ball comes down on the Spearfish side. It'll be a point for Belle Fourche. A substitution coming in here as going out of the game will be number 8, Corin Knapp. She did not start tonight, but quickly into the rotation, and coming back in is Denali Larson. 3-2, Spearfish leads it. Here's the jump serve by the Lady Bronx, number 5, Maya Nowajeski. Spearfish gets it over in 3. We've covered quite a few Spearfish games this year with volleyball and football. This will be the 3rd game that we've covered for Belle Fourche in volleyball, as one of the girls for Spearfish tried to duck under the net, but touched the net. And a point for Belle Fourche as we're tied up at 3. We're just exchanging points, one back to the other here. And we're gonna have a whistle and a violation on Spearfish. We want to say thanks to Heiserling Concrete. Give them a call at 605-210-2320. Heiserling Concrete bringing you some fall sports.
I don't quite know what happened on that stoppage, yet they did give Bronx the point. I believe Spearfish looked out of rotation. I believe that's what they'll call, but Bronx, they're hanging with the Lady Spartans so far in this one, so let's see who takes the momentum first.
Spearfish They get it over the net in 3. Now the Bronx, a little bit of trouble as they have to go up over their shoulder to send that one back over in 3. Good setup by Reiners. It's blocked at the net by Belle Fourche, but then a lift is going to be called on the Spearfish Lady Spartans. So the Bronx taking their early lead here, 5-3. Coach Slickmeyer has been in these battles time after time against Spearfish. Usually it's the Bronx with the upper hand over the Spartans, but coming into tonight, Spearfish with a record of 16-5, and Belle Fourche with just 3 wins and 17 losses. This is match number 22 for Spearfish and match number 21 for the Belle Fourche Lady Bronx. Former Bronc Shelby Budmeyer Richards comes over, talks with one of the officials to get an explanation. And now we're back to play here for Belle Fourche.
Yeah, that time there was a stoppage in play. I believe they caught Spearfish out of rotation again, so that makes the score 6-3 in favor of the Spartans. And now good job by the Bronx to pancake that one off the floor. The momentum slowly starting to shift over to Belle Fourche.
That time just unable to get the ricochet off of part of the balcony here at the Belle Fourche High School gym. Very white in here as they painted everything over the summertime, did some new acoustic things and banners, and that time just goes off of one of the rafter beams, and we play on. This time Belle Fourche gets a point as it was Yackley hitting that one out of bounds right off of the man on the stand. One of the officials goes off of his head and goes into the stands on the far side of the floor. Now 7-4 Bronx, but their serve goes into the net. A service error there by Kaylee Nowajeski, the lone senior for the Belle Fourche Bronx.
Yep, so far momentum shifting back and forth. Belle Fourche, I believe they kind of got Spearfish off guard. They've been able to hit through the blocks and really set up their offense.
Here's the hit. It's going to be too long by Belle Fourche. So Spearfish will continue serving with Faith Hoffman as they try to tie it up here. 7-6 right now is the score. Belle Fourche last played on Thursday when they lost to Douglas. It's been a week since the Spearfish Lady Spartans played, but they got a win in that one. They took on Sturgis a week ago tonight. A point here for the Spartans ties things up at 7 apiece.
Yeah, so far, Belle Fourche, they're starting to get a little bit sloppy on offense with long hits, and now they're just starting to tap it over, and this gives Spearfish a chance offensively.
Here's Kirk with the hit. It goes over to the Belle Fourche side. Belle Fourche with the attempt. They get it over. Now here comes the set. Here's the attack. It goes over. It's going to be just down in bounds on the far end. And it was this near corner, kind of that coughing corner up over one of the girls' heads, right in front of the line judge. And that'll be a point for the Spearfish Spartans. Perfect placement there to make it 8-7, and their lead right now is Spearfish. Here's Hoffman on the serve, gets it across, Belle Fourche to dig it up. There's the set, back over to the outside hitter for the attack, and she hits it long. It goes out of bounds.
Yeah, now Belle Fourche, they're getting their offense in rhythm. They just haven't been able to hit any kills down into the ground. They've just been floaters going over the entire defense and out of bounds. I don't know if you need to hit the ball differently there, but you need to be able to get those kills down and into the court.
As Belle Fourche gets a point here, I think what will be a factor in this one is the depth of the Spearfish Lady Spartans. They don't go a whole lot deep, but I see some new girls on the roster now since the last time we did their games, and we'll probably see Wheaton coming in, Durdal, and then the rotation of that 6-2 setters. And now Spearfish side, they hit it over. There's Kirk, and she gets the kill. Meanwhile, the Belle Fourche Bronx only have 3 girls on their bench to go to, and the only one that we've seen play this year off the bench is Cora Knapp. So we'll see if the depth comes into play here for the Class AA team, the Spearfish Lady Spartans. Let's take a dive into this week's rankings from the South Dakota Media Poll, as we have a timeout on the floor here taken by Belle Fourche as they trail now by 2, 10-8. Class AA, the number 1 team in the state this week by the media, is the Harrisburg Tigers. They are a perfect 17-0 on the season. Second is Sioux Falls Jefferson, then O'Gorman, Washington, and Watertown. So it's the Sioux Falls Metro Schools and Watertown. They're in the top 5. Where would Spearfish be? Well, you go down a couple of spots. You see them 7th in the seeding points at 16-5. And right now, they would host that one-game playoff in the Sodak 16.
Yeah, Spearfish, they're just right up there with those East River schools. Here in a few weeks, they have the East-West tournament here in Spearfish, so you'll get to see the likes of some of the Sioux Falls schools. Harrisburg, #1 on the season. They'll play Spearfish during that East-West tournament as well.
Spearfish hasn't played Rapid City Stevens yet. That'll be a barn burner coming up later on in the season, so a tough schedule still to go for Spearfish. Despite winning 15 games in a row, they got their work cut out for them in the final few weeks of the regular season. But right now they sit at about #7 in the state at 16-5. We're back to action here. Avery Kirk and the Spearfish Spartans as she serves it up. They have a 3-point lead, 11-8 coming out of the timeout. Spearfish has it. They go to the middle, now to the outside. Here's the attack. Goes up in the air, takes a bad bounce off of the rafters, and that'll be a point for Spearfish. So the Spartans take advantage of a little of these, what you would think of kind of like Plinko. You know, once it hits a piece of the beams up there, it's hard to play off of it. So Belle Fourche has got to keep those balls a little bit lower instead of way up in the air, because both times it's been on Belle Fourche's side. And Spearfish this time attacks, goes right to the middle, gets a point there, and it's a 5-point lead for the Spearfish Spartans.
Yeah, that time it was a good job by the setter. Callie Reiner, she's been doing that multiple times this year, finds a soft spot, and does a nice quick little tip and gets a kill herself.
Belle Fourche tries to attack, but it is hit into the net by number, let's see.
I believe that was 19, Aurora Voiles, the sophomore.
She is set up there on the outside, had a good opportunity, but just didn't have the much lift on it to get it over the net. This time she'll try again. Gets it over there from the middle. Now Spearfish's side. Here's a heavy attack, but it's too much on it. They think Belle Fourche tipped it, and they did, says the official. Nice job there by Adeline Bowman, sending that back with a little bit of momentum and enough to get it just off the fingertips of a Belle Fourche Lady Bronx, and Spearfish is on a roll. Here's the serve by Kirk over to the Belle Fourche side. The Bronx get it over in 3, goes to the back row. Now the libero Yackley with the set. Reiners would try to attack. She gets it over to Belle Fourche, deep into the net. Belle Fourche's side, they hit it over. Now here's Spartan's turn. It's Reiners with another set. And she sets it up, and her teammate swats it down.
Yeah, that was a good job that time by the middle hitter, Tabitha Zanstra, the junior, doing a good job getting the set thrown her way. She hasn't been set a lot in this contest, but she might have just earned herself some more sets later on in this game.
16-8, Spearfish doubling up Belle Fourche. Here's Yackley with the set, back to Reiners. Reiners to the back row. And then Belle Fourche gets it over. Here comes Reiners with another set assist. It's blocked by Belle Fourche, but then it goes out of bounds. So a point for the Spearfish Spartans.
Yeah, all the momentum right now. When this game started, it was kind of a tale of really both ends going back and forth at one another. I really thought the first team to really gain that momentum would be the first one to really kind of pull this one away, and right now it's the Lady Spartans.
And it gets so loud in this gym now, you got to think sometimes an inadvertent whistle, you may not be able to hear the whistle in the background as both of these student sections are getting loud, and we have a good environment for a Tuesday night high school volleyball right here on KDSJ Sports. Let's continue with our look at the polls for this week. The Belle Fourche Lady Bronx, they play in Class A. The best team in the state in that division will be Dell Rapids. They built up a 22-2 record. Dakota Valley is second. Sioux Falls Christian, they're like the 5-time defending state champions. They may be number 3 in the state, but they're still very good at 16-10. Miller is 4th. Baltic is 5th. And then Hill City Rangers are the best team around here. They play in the Black Hills Conference, also in Region 8A, along with Belle Fourche. So Hill City leading the region, leading the conference with a record of 22-3. They sit there at about the number 6 spot in the state. Here's the attack. It's blocked by Belle Fourche, comes back over to the Bronx side. Here's another attack. Belle Fourche able to dig it up. Belle Fourche, they get it over in 3. Now they try to go to the outside. This time it's pushed over there by Addie Bowman. Spearfish trying to set up that double block here on the near side, and Belle Fourche hits over the block, but also over the out-of-bounds line and lands out of bounds for Belle Fourche. So it's 18-8 Spearfish. Quick look at Class B. Chester area has been dominant all year. They continue to lead Class B. couple of West River teams, though, to keep an eye on come postseason play, the Faith Lady Longhorns and the Cadoke Area Cougars. And this one will be hit down, and a point for the Belle Fourche Lady Broncs. And 18-9 is the score. Spearfish doubling up Belle Fourche, but the Broncs will see if they can put something together. Larson with the serve. Spearfish from almost the back row hits that one over. Belle Fourche hits it over in two. Spearfish was ready for it. Now the Spartans get it over. Here's Belle Fourche. Voiles over to the Spearfish side. Here's the attack. That one is by Zanstra, and this one is hit long and out of bounds. So point for Belle Fourche. So back-to-back points here now for the Belle Fourche Lady Broncs. As serving it up for Belle is Denali Larson. She is a junior middle hitter. She serves from the near side. Here's the attack, and Spearfish deep into the net. Reiner sets it up. Who's going to hit it? It's going to be Kirk. Just gets it over. Now Belle Fourche. And Belle Fourche hits it too long, out of bounds. Again, I think Belle Fourche has to keep that ball down a little bit more on their side because it's ricocheted off of the ceiling a couple times. Hasn't even been close on the Spearfish side, so you can tell Belle Fourche is maybe putting too much into it when they get those digs and sets. Here's a nice dig, speaking of it, by the libero for the Belle Fourche Lady Broncs. Broncs do get it over. Spearfish is going to let it go out of bounds here on the near side. Spearfish Lady Spartans on the left-hand side of the net. The Belle Fourche Lady Broncs on the right-hand side. They'll stay on those sides, same sides as their benches. We have the scores table in the middle. Belle Fourche little out of position here as they don't get it over in three. Belle Fourche wearing the home purple jerseys with white numbers. The libero has the white long sleeve shirt with the black tights. And for Spearfish, they serve it up. Only had to drive about 15 minutes to get up here, and they brought the student section and, of course, the sub-varsity players sitting behind the Spartan bench cheering them on. This will be Zanstra to serve, one of the better servers on the team for Spearfish. And let's have a quick look at those stats for Spearfish. Leading the team in kills on the season has been Adeline Bowman with 182 service aces. The top one on the season has been Zanstra with 30 aces. Can she get one here? No, she can't. Belle Fourche gets it over in three. Now here comes Reiners. Reiners will set it up, and it'll be Keller getting it over. Here's Belle Fourche with the attack. Spearfish in their long sleeve maroon and gray jerseys. It's going to be a point by the Spartans. Number 8 with the kill for Spearfish. That was Faith Hoffman. Let's look at those kills on the season. Hoffman totaling up now 45 on the season. And back to serve again is Zanstra. Service percentage of 92%, the best on the team, and she comes through right now. Stats don't lie. And it's a 25-10 final score here in set number 1. Belle Fourche hung right with them in the beginning, and that's what I thought needed to happen. To have Belle Fourche come out strong in that first set, show that, hey, we're here on the other side of the net, come at us, Spearfish, and well, the Spartans did later on.
Yeah, Belle Fourche, they had a good start to the game, really had a bit of a rhythm offensively, able to set up their offense. And then Spearfish, especially from the service line, they were able to get Belle Fourche out of rhythm. They had trouble digging up those serves, and just when you have a bad dig to start off the entire 3-set series, then it's just not going to go well. The serves, and also when Spearfish did have a chance to set up their offense, they're heavy hitters. They hit them hard, they hit them fast. Belle Fourche, they were just really, as football terms go, they were the nail, not the hammer, so to speak. So Belle Fourche definitely need to regroup. Not your best set really you've had on the season, but as we've seen, those Belle Fourche Broncs, they generally get better and better throughout the game and throughout the season.
Now, we don't keep track of stats because one thing, I wouldn't know much about it. 2, we let the student managers and the assistant coaches take care of the stats. Well, let's have a look at the stats for the season, continuing our discussion on the Spearfish Spartans. Again, Bowman leads the team in kills. Service aces, it's led by Zanstra. She also has the best serving percentage at 92%. 91% from the service line is Adeline Bowman. I thought Reiners would be up there a little higher, but right now they left Reiners out of the stats, so it's all blank for her. So I believe she would be up there, but they forgot to put Reiners in the stats for the serving. Over to the blocking. The top blocker on the team this year has been Zanstra and Bowman, each with 58. Diggs, a good defensive player, is Yackley with 331 digs on the season, 205 from Faith Hoffman, so a big difference there from your number 1 to your number 2. And when it comes to set assists, of course, it is Callie Reiners. And again, they left her off of the stat sheet here, but we know she is their setter and their main one. She has over 1,500 set assists for her career, and she's just a junior. So Reiners is the main setter and has a lot of them. And for serve receiving, the best one there would be probably Yackley, the senior, and maybe Bowman, the junior. Avery Kirk, we've seen her do pretty well here in this first set, getting some good returns and kills. As we get ready for set number 2 here tonight, Spearfish takes set 1, 25-10. Thanks for joining us here on KDSJ Radio and KDSJ-TV. Same starting 6 will be out there for Spearfish and Belle Fourche. They stay on their respective sides of the net. Spearfish in the maroon and gray long sleeve shirts with the black tights, and Belle Fourche going with the purple and black tonight with white numbers. Belle Fourche, good chance to serve it up first as we begin set 2. This is Denali Larson. And then over to Spearfish's side. Spearfish able to get it over. And the attack by Belle Fourche. Over to Spearfish. They go to the outside again. That time by Keller. And that was picture perfect if you watch that on KDSJ-TV. That was a good one. You like those big spikes. That time by Adeline Bowman. But Coach Richard said in the pregame show, I didn't catch a whole lot of it, but when she was talking about everybody likes those big spikes and kills, but sometimes it's a little dip and dunks that might get you a point too.
Yeah, most definitely, especially with Belle Fourche. They're going to more or less try to get those dip and dunks little hits and little tips because they don't have as heavy of hitters as Spearfish, but it's a good way to get a defense out of possession, and you see a heavy hit right there, this time by the freshman for the Belle Fourche Bronx, Maya Nowajeski.
So now it's 1-1 as Spearfish and Belle Fourche play here on this Tuesday night. Black Hills Conference matchup. Class AA Spearfish against Class A Belle. And here's the attack by Spearfish. It goes into the net. And a point here for Belle as they have the early lead, 2-1.
Yeah, now Belle Fourche, they're starting to set up their block on that Adeline Bowman. Addie Bowman, yes, she can jump out of the gym, but she is 5'6", and she's one of those heavy hitters for Spearfish, so definitely want to set up her first. Set up a block for her first.
Point for Spearfish.
At that time, Spearfish, knowing the block, is going to head over to Bowman, set up their taller middle hitter at that time, which was Addison Keller.
Couple of tallest girls for Spearfish. Caitlin Wheaton comes in off the bench at 6'1", and then you have Zanstra at 5'10". And Spearfish gets the attack, gets the point, takes the lead now 3-2 here at the Belle Fourche Armory. Serving is Adeline Bowman, the junior. And here is the serve over. Belle Fourche takes it in just 2, and then that sets up the big hit for number 11, Avery Kirk. So far, probably our early voting, our player of the game, but we got a long ways to go. This is a best of 5. Got to get to 25 each set, and if we go 5, we'll go to 15. This one is served long. Point for the Belle Fourche Lady Bronx. They don't sub very often, so the 6 girls are out there are what Coach Schlickmeyer is going to deal with throughout the night. Maybe 1 girl will come in off the bench for Belle Fourche. Spearfish will go maybe 3 deep, but they have what they want out on the floor right now. Here is Kirk. Kirk hits this one off the top of the net, and this will be a point for Belle Fourche.
They're going to call 4 hits that time. I believe there wasn't even a block for Belle Fourche, so it just bounced right into the net, and that was technically the 3rd hit. So Belle Fourche dodged the bullet there and ties up this game at 4 apiece.
Now here comes the Spartans. They get it across, that time by Keller. Over to Belle Fourche. Belle Fourche hits it to the middle. Now here is Yackley with the set. And Keller gets it across, gets the point for Spearfish. The sophomore, Coach Richards was talking about, she was coming up from the JV squad last year and now coming into the varsity and starting throughout the season so far for Spearfish. Nice addition there by Keller. And here is Belle Fourche, hits it off the top of the net, goes to the Spearfish side. Spartans sets up Avery Kirk. She has it partially blocked, and it goes out of bounds on the Belle Fourche side.
Yeah, that was just a good job by Kirk, the senior, showing the power. Hits through the block. She doesn't matter if it sets up right in her face. She will either hit around it, and that time just hits flat through it.
Belle Fourche gets it across. Partially blocked there by Spearfish. They keep it alive. Here's Kirk with a little dump over. Belle Fourche unable to get it. It was kind of spinning as it was coming over to the Belle Fourche side. Nice job by Kirk there on the outside, playing that position all the way around. No matter where she is, she sets herself up in good position for that point. 7-4 Spearfish. As the Bronx get it over by the libero. Now it comes over here. Middle, Adeline Bowman hits this one long, and a point for the Bronx.
Yeah, that time, Adeline Bowman hitting from the back row. It's really hard for a defense to really see that ball coming, especially when you set it up for the back row. You have your front row that you always have to be prepared for with the block, and then you really don't see that back row offensive player coming to spike the ball.
Freshman Maya Nowajeski serves up an ace. Leading them in serves aces on the year has been Sid Pelster with 34 aces and serving percentage of 90%, but the freshman helping herself out there. Partially blocked by Belle Fourche at the net. Now Belle Fourche tries to get it over in 3. They do that time by Reagan Hatling, but it will go out of bounds. Hits it long, so it's now 8-6 in favor of Spearfish as they get the serve back. This time Faith Hoffman with the jump serve, hits it off the top of the net, and it lands down for an ace for the Spearfish Spartans. Faith Hoffman, and uses a little English there on the net, gets the point. And now it's 9-6 in favor of the Spartans. Here come the Bronx on the attack. It's blocked very nicely by Spearfish, setting up that double block on the outside, and that forces head coach Lori Schlickmeyer to call a timeout for Belle Fourche. And let's take a timeout too for KDSJ Radio and KDSJ-TV. We'll be back in 30 seconds on KDSJ Sports.
You just got a quote from a company and are now being billed for not choosing them. Many contracts have what's referred to as a contingency agreement. These typically state that if you don't go with them, you, after insurance has approved the repair work, will be charged a percentage of the job they quoted. Ask up front if they charge to provide an estimate. Never sign anything that you haven't fully read or understand. If you have any questions, reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
Back here at the Belle Fourche Armory as we have 11-6 on the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard in favor of the Spearfish Spartans. What else do we have on the Junix scoreboard tonight? Here's Clayson Davis.
Yeah, looking at some Class AA games quickly. Number 3, Sioux Falls, Washington took care of Brookings 3-0. Sioux Falls, Roosevelt 3 over Huron 1. Sioux Falls, Jefferson sweeps Mitchell 3-0. Watertown, they took care of business versus Sioux Falls Lincoln 3-0, and then Douglas, they are currently tied with Rapid City Stevens at 1 apiece in set 3.
We have an inter-class matchup tonight. Class AA Spearfish and Class A Belle Fourche. Back to serve for the Bronx is their libero, Kaylee Nowajeski. And here is Spearfish on their side as Kirk gets it over. Now it's over to Belle Fourche, trying to get in position to get to that outside hitter. And then they have to dig it up again. Belle Fourche has it. Trying to keep that ball a little bit low, and speaking of it being low, they didn't get it over the net, that time by Denali Larson. So Spearfish will serve, and Avery Kirk will have the chance.
Yeah, that time is just hard for Belle Fourche when set is kind of off and you don't have a chance for your hitters to get in a rhythm, getting those steps in to jump and time the ball. So you just kind of loft it over, and just it's hard to get much English on that ball when you're hitting it flat-footed. As now Adeline Bowman hits it long. She's been hitting them long kind of most of the night. They set up the block on her early, and then now she's having a hard time getting her kills down.
Belle Fourche returns the tap at the net. Here's another block by Belle Fourche, but then the ball lands on their side. So a point for the Spearfish Spartans as they take the lead now 13-8.
Yeah, that was a good job that time by number 14, Maya Bush, the sophomore at 5'7". She read the middle blocker coming the entire time. Only issue is she really didn't have a lot of help to help her recover that block.
And we want to say thanks to the South Dakota Attorney General's Office Division of Consumer Protection, as we have a couple officials here. One right in front of us here at the scores table. The other one is the man on the stand. And two ladies are taking care of the line judges on the corners. 14-8, Spearfish up by 6. Here is the set from Reiners, goes to Keller. She goes cross court, that nice diagonal hit. Then it's blocked at the net, still on Belle Fourche's side. The Bronx have it. They get it over. Reiners there to send it right back where it came from. Now here's Spearfish, the maroon and white on the attack. In the middle, points and a kill from Adeline Bowman.
Yeah, again, Adeline Bowman, they've been setting her up from the backside now, from the back row, as that block earlier from Belle Fourche was getting set up on Adeline Bowman. She had a hard time hitting around it. Well, the best way to combat that is just not let the block develop, and that's what you get when you set up a hitter from the back row.
15-8, Spartans up by 8. There's the dig, there's the set, comes to the front row, and they'll go over their shoulder with it. Now Belle Fourche trying to get things ready on the far side, and they go into the net. The momentum of Voyos just sent her right into the net, face first into the net. So nothing you could do there. A point for Spearfish as they get the volleyball to the right side of the floor. Let's see. After this set, we'll hit up our matchup menu and look at some other games in the Black Hills Conference tonight. Some other games in Class AA and maybe some more finals on the Junix scoreboard. Belle Fourche gets it over to Spearfish. Spearfish with the attack, comes right back over to Belle Fourche. One-timer, and this will be a point for Spearfish. Adeline Bowman starting to heat up here, and she's playing well there in the front row. We remember her sister playing for the Spartans last year. Now Addie's a junior, and she's coming into her role there at the middle hitter. Zanstra with the serve, and this will be a point for Spearfish as they're up by 10, 18-8. You get 2 timeouts per set, and Coach Slickmeyer says, well, I have 2, I'm going to use them both. Either use them or lose them. So a timeout here from Belle Fourche. We'll take a 30-second break. Be back with more of Tuesday Night Volleyball on KDSJ Sports.
For over 10 years, Allied Construction has been a trusted name in the Black Hills, providing top-quality construction services to our local community. We take pride in being a local business with deep roots in the area. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, you can trust us to deliver exceptional results on every project. Our team is dedicated to providing personalized service, ensuring your project gets the attention and expertise it deserves.
Check out their website today. Click alliedconstruction.com or find them on Facebook.
Welcome here to the Belle Fourche High School gym on a Tuesday night, our high school volleyball match of the week. And our high school football game of the week will be on the road in Pierre this Friday night, as we'll have coverage of the Spearfish Spartans at the Pierre Governors right here on KDSJ Sports, radio and TV. Rankings-wise, did Spearfish move up anywhere?
No. They stayed right there at number 2. Yankton, they defeated number 1 Brookings, and the state elected to give that number 1 ranking to Yankton, which honestly might not be a bad thing because the number 1 team in Class AA has lost in back-to-back weeks. So maybe it might just be nice to hang out at number 2 for a bit. I mean, we do lead the state in power points, and in the end, that's really all that matters.
And also, we don't play Brookings or Yankton here in the regular season, so we probably don't have as strong of a schedule as Yankton, but we'll take the number 2 spot and see what we can do against Pierre Friday night. Here's Yackley gets it over. And here's Belle Fourche. Belle Fourche sends it over. Now the attack.
Got a new face in for Spearfish.
Belle Fourche hits it across, and they just get it down. A nice point for Belle Fourche as they attack to the far corner.
Believe in for Spearfish is number 9, Liliana Sadowski, the junior middle hitter / right side at 5'8".
Sadowski getting added to the varsity roster here, along with Everly Rogers. She sends it across. Belle Fourche just digs it up from the floor. And now Yackley has it on the Spearfish side. Spartans send it over, and it's going to be a point by Spearfish. She does that push just very slightly with the other hand on and gets the point. She's come in, sparked a little bit here for the Spartans as it's 20-10 Spearfish.
Yeah, that was a good job by Sadowski. Almost fakes the spike and goes with the tip, throws Belle Fourche off guard, and they weren't able to recover.
Belle Fourche recovers right here with a nice hit on time as they get the point, as they send it to the back row. And that will bring it to serve for Belle Fourche, I believe, Olivia Sutter, or maybe it's, nope, that's Maya Bush. At a second there, the 14 looked like an 11. So Maya will serve from the center of the floor. And now Spearfish has it on the return. They hit it to the middle and the back. There's Belle Fourche. They hit it into the net. Point for Spearfish. Spartans won the first set 25-10. They lead this one 21-11. As we say thanks to Granite Automotive, Fisher Sand and Gravel, and thanks to Pillin Optical, celebrating 50 years over in Rapid City. Belle Fourche gets it over in 3. Now there's Yackley with the set. Here is the hit across, and it's hit too deep. Point for Belle Fourche. So the Bronx will see if they can take advantage of some hitting errors by Spearfish and mount a little bit of a comeback. You got to get about 3 points compared to Spearfish's 1 every time. And here's Reiners with the set. And this one is hit out of bounds by Faith Hoffman. So point for Belle Fourche.
Yeah, Belle Fourche, off of some mistakes from Spearfish. They have a little run put together. See if they can keep it going on this volley.
This one will land out of bounds by Spearfish, so a point for Belle Fourche. Again, the Bronx play in Region 8A. 7 teams in the region. They sit number 6 at 3-17. That's a pretty good region. You got Hill City 22-3, St. Thomas More 21-13. Custer has 21 wins. Let's see, and then it drops off. Hot Springs, Rapid City Christian, everybody else under 500. As I mentioned, Spearfish has not lost to a team that has a losing record this year. We'll see if they can continue that, put together a full match. Bowman sends it across. That was pretty good for the back row. And now here's the attack by Belle Fourche. Belle Fourche has to get it over here on this time. They do for the outside hitter. Now Spearfish looking around. Who are they going to set up? This time it's going to be one of their subs that came into the game, Liliana Sadowski with the point for the Spearfish Spartans. So the junior at 5'8" gets the point there. So now it's 22-15, a 7-point lead for Spearfish as they're back to serve, and it's Yackley. Yackley, the libero, hits this one into the top of the net. A point for the Bronx. Again, coming up after this set, we'll have a look at our matchup menu being brought to you by Beef Logic, and a look at some of the finals on the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard. Back to serve is Belle Fourche. That was Maya Nowajeski. And lands down, just barely getting up off the floor. You could probably hear the floor squeak. And now they get it over in 3. Spearfish goes to Kirk. Now back deep into the net. Belle Fourche is able to get it up over, and a point for Belle as they make it 22-17. A quick little comeback here for the Belle Fourche Lady Bronx to get it within 5. As I mentioned, you got to have about 3 or 4 points to every one of Spearfish if you want to win this set. This one will go serve deep, service error. Point for the Spearfish Spartans. And now Hoffman will serve. Comes to Belle Fourche on the right-hand side of the net, and they're unable to dig it up and get the ability for a set there.
Yeah, Hoffman, one of the better servers for the Spartans, and Belle Fourche, they've had a hard time against these good setters for Spearfish.
Belle Fourche hits it over, and that time gets it right down in front of the Spearfish Lady Spartan for a point. Coach Slickmeyer will go to the bench now as she'll bring in number 14. That's Maya Bush. She'll come in for Reagan Hatling, who takes a seat on the padded bench. Over to Spearfish's side. Spartans will see if they can close this out. It's set point, 24-18. The Bronx hit it over. Now Spearfish. Reiners, can she get another set assists? Yes, she does. And it's the point to win the match, or win the set, as Adeline Bowman with the kill. Reiners with the set assist, and it's 25-18. Spearfish wins the second set, so Belle Fourche made it a little bit closer in set number 2, but still too much Spartans as they win at 25-18. Now let's go to the matchup menu tonight, being brought to you by Beef Logic and the South Dakota Beef Industry Council. As we have a look at the other games going on around the area from the Black Hills Conference over to Class AA. And over on KDSJ-TV, I believe we have a graphic for the other games. And I'm in the process of looking for the said copy. And right here it is in front of me. Thank you, Clayson. You just do what you do. Dupree is at Faith. Faith has 4 losses on the season. They're hosting Dupree tonight. Let's see, Harding County is at home against Carter County, Montana. In the Black Hills Conference tonight, Red Cloud is at Custer. Newell is at Edgemont tonight. Also, there's White River and Kadoka area. And then Douglas is at Rapid City Stevens. Turning the page, we see Black Hills Conference matchup tonight. We have Spearfish at Belle Fourche. Spearfish taking the first 2 sets, 25-10, 25-18. Then it's also number 4 Sioux Falls, Washington at Brookings. Lee Deadwood is hosting New Underwood tonight. It's senior night for the Gold Diggers. Hot Springs is at Rapid City Christian for a Black Hills Conference matchup. Number 2 Sioux Falls Jefferson is hosting Mitchell. Some of these Class AA games will start to play an impact on where Spearfish stands. Sioux Falls Roosevelt is at home against Huron. In the Black Hills Conference, Hill City is at St. Thomas More. There's Phillip at Wall, and 5th-ranked Watertown is hosting Sioux Falls Lincoln. As we get a quick update on the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard, here's Clayson Davis.
Yeah, do want to check out that Hill City and St. Thomas More game. Those are the top 2 teams in Region 8A. So definitely want to check out that one. I don't think it'll be enough to skew the standings if Hill City were to lose, but still a good one to keep track of. I don't quite have a score update from it, but we do have a score update from Rapid City Christian and Hot Springs, with the Lady Bison taking set 1 at 25-19 over the Lady Comets. We're going to look over to Class AA real quick as we last left off. Rapid City Stevens, they ended up winning set 3 25-20. So now the Rapid City Stevens, they will take a 2-1 set lead over the Douglas Lady Patriots in a Class 11 in a Class AA. I've been watching way too much football lately. Looking at some Class B scores, those of interest, I don't really see much that we have.
It takes a lot to interest Clayson Davis.
The attention span of a goldfish, everyone.
Are you done?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. That's Clayson Davis over on KDSJ-TV doing fine stuff over there with graphics and the scoreboards and cameras and getting everything set up tonight. It's a different thing at every gym. Last week we were in Newell. Sometimes we're in Spearfish, Sturgis, Lead. Second time here in Belle Fourche, so a little bit different setup each time, but always pretty much center court. Thank you to Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine with our Monument Health Orthopedics broadcast booth. See how I did a whole 180 on that one. Let's see, getting started things here in set number 3. Volleyball moves quick. So I'm not going to tell you every time who has the dig, who has the set, who has the kill, but we'll try to keep up with things. It's 1-1 tie. And we'll let the student managers and the assistant coaches take care of all the stats, so we apologize. We're not stat worthy here. A kill for Belle Fourche. Again, you got to come out every start of the set strong for Belle Fourche to just make a statement. But then they haven't been able to hold on as they scored 10 points in the first set, 18 in the second set. We'll see if they can make a game of it here as they lead it 2-1. It's dug up by Spearfish. Spearfish just has more weapons.
That was a good block at that time by the Belle Fourche. Lady Bronx, Adelman Bowman, she had a shot at it, and boy, did she nail that one. But the block, it went back to Spearfish's side, and they just couldn't get it out of the net.
I'm Cody Oliver. Here's Clayson Davis over there at KDSJ-TV and helping out with the analysis of this high school volleyball match of the week. Spearfish gets the point. They don't sub very often as well. Maybe just 2 or 3 girls off the bench for Spearfish. But what they have out there for the 6 girls, anyone could get a kill. Kirk, Bowman, Zanstra, Keller, Reiners. So even, and that's good to have that depth. And you have the libero Yackley. Here's Keller tapping it over. It's dug up there by Belle Fourche. They send it back. We haven't had a long volley yet as Spearfish able to get the kill there. Kind of middle of the floor, back. And serving now for Spearfish will be Adeline Bowman.
Yeah, that was Faith Hoffman for a past few kills for Spearfish. Only at 5'4", she's able to get up there and really nail that ball home.
Belle Fourche coming in 3-17 on the season. They haven't played Spearfish. I think this is the only time the 2 teams play here this season, so it counts in the Black Hills Conference. Belle Fourche hits it into the net. Belle Fourche was 21-12 last year, and of course, head coach Slickmeyer wants the team to improve with a young team this year and build for the future. Spearfish digs it up. Here's Reiners. Sets it up. This one is going to be hit long over to the far corner and caught over there by Mr. Noah Jeske. He will then bounce pass it to Maya Bush, who's the next server for the Bronx.
We cover all of our bases with the play-by-play right here on KDSJ.
And just sitting into the net was Keller. So back-to-back points here for Spearfish. And let's see, Bush is back again to serve.
Spearfish traditionally hasn't started off strong in the third set. We've seen them a few times. They've been off to a slower start in the third set. As we see there, an ace by Bush. Spearfish, again, third sets have not been really nice to them. They kind of take their foot off the gas really in a way. So we'll see how they'll respond. Again, Belle Fourche, as we saw a few weeks ago when we were here versus Custer, Belle Fourche, they can really turn it on in the third set. Back-to-back aces that time by Maya Bush and the Lady Bronx.
One of the officials here nearest us looks over, kind of glances over at the Spearfish head coach, Shelby Budmeyer Richards, to say, "You want a timeout?" And she just stands there like a statue and says, "Oh, I think we'll get through it." Belle Fourche takes it off the bounce of the rafter, and again, that's the 3rd time that Belle Fourche has not been able to hit it across after it takes a Klinko bounce off of this ceiling.
You almost think like home court advantage. Belle Fourche should be used to that, but just Spearfish hitting the ball hard enough that Belle is having a really hard time controlling those digs.
They're hitting it too high in the air. Spearfish probably has a higher gym ceiling. Sturgis has the biggest. Here's a hit and unable to come up with it. Noah Jeske dives for the libero for Belle Fourche, but unable to dig it up, and we're tied up at 7s.
Yeah, Avery Kirk from her outside hitter position. They're starting to get her warmed up here in this third set.
There is Yackley with the serve, but it goes into the net. Spearfish last year had 16 wins. This year already they have 16 wins. And they've won 15 games in a row. Here's the soft serve by Belle Fourche. I think it just came across on her hand, a little bit odd. And a point there for Spearfish on the Belle Fourche service error, as we're tied back up at 8. And maybe the momentum can switch here to the Spearfish side, because I think Belle Fourche has kind of controlled this third set. And Spearfish has it to Reiners. Reiners hits it long, but it's too far back. That'll be a point for the Bronx. Spearfish is going to say maybe Belle Fourche had a hand on it, and they say they did. So the appeal says Belle Fourche tipped it, and it'll be a point for Spearfish now as they reverse the point, and the Spartans have the lead 9-8. Maybe it takes something like that to get the momentum going for the Spartans. And as Belle Fourche answers right back with a kill and makes it 9-9.
Yeah, that time that was Cora Knapp, the first time we've seen the sophomore come out for the Lady Bronx. Only 5'1", but she was able to get up there and get the kill. It wasn't a hard kill, but it hit right in the soft spot of the defense, and now she's in the stat book for the Lady Bronx.
First of 2 games this week for the Spearfish Spartans. They'll play on Friday at home against Red Cloud. That'll be a 7 o'clock varsity start. Red Cloud is 6-12 on the season, so another winnable game later on this week for Spearfish and another game in the Black Hills Conference. As we're live tonight from the Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth, bringing you our high school volleyball match of the week. What do we have coming up for the rest of the week over on KDSJ-TV?
At KDSJ-TV, we have our From the Bench podcast. That will be today or tomorrow. We are still sorting out details there, but stay tuned for the middle of the week here on KDSJ-TV. We'll have our From the Bench podcast. We sit down with a Northern Hills sports figure. I definitely don't want to miss that. And then, of course, we got football on the road in Pierre as the number 2 ranked Spearfish Spartans play the defending 7-time state champions in Class AA, the Pierre Governors.
Here is the serve by Belle Fourche, and this will be hit long, and this will be a point for Spearfish. So just like that, they get the serve back up 10-9 as Spearfish used a quick timeout there. Here's Kirk with the serve. The libero has to go diving for it. She does dig it up, and then it goes out of bounds. So a point for Spearfish. As the official comes over to the scores table, make sure that the rotation is correct for both of these teams. It is, so we play on. Reiners, instead of setting up, she'll take the attack. Deep into the net. Reiners this time with the pass, and this will be a point as Adeline Bowman with the kill.
Yeah, Adeline Bowman, she had a really slow start to this one in that first set. Belle Fourche was blocking her hard, and now she's starting to find a rhythm to really close out this contest.
Spearfish, 8-5 record on the road, and 11-0 against teams that are below 500, as you got to take care of these winnable games and try to move up in the standings, as it's all about the seeding points in that final week of the season when you get into the Sodak 16 to see if you host or have to make a long road trip. I think that was really detrimental to Spearfish last year. They had to drive all the way out to Watertown and face off against the Arrows. And it's a one night, you win, you move on, you lose, you're done. So as we saw with Spearfish girls basketball, if they can have a Sodak 16 game at home, I believe that place will be a-rockin'. Here's the Spartans, and Adeline Bowman with the kill, right off of the side of the arm of one of the Belle Fourche Bronx. Then it ricocheted up and almost hit a player in the face. So it's 14-10 in favor of the Spartans, as I think when it was 8-8, now it's a 6-2 run for Spearfish, led by the serving, as Belle Fourche would get called for going into the net.
As you can definitely feel the momentum this set, that timeout by head coach Richards really kind of helped woke up this Spearfish squad, and now see if Belle Fourche, they can have the similar results, as head coach Slickmeyer will now call a timeout.
One of the girls I think that needs to step up for Belle Fourche is a sophomore, Aurora Voiles. We'll see if she can get it going there from the outside hitter position. She's a sophomore at 5'7", but she's been having to go up against Kirk and Keller over there on that side of the net, and it's been difficult. We'll see if she can shake that off and get things going to help off the Bronx, because since it was 8-8, now it's 15-10, a 7-2 run here for the Spearfish Lady Spartans, as that momentum has switched on over to the Spartan side. We talked about what's coming up for KDSJ-TV. Most of that will also be on KDSJ Radio. Check out From the Bench podcast. You can Follow more of that on the YouTube channel and Facebook and get further updates on the latest show this week. You can always re-watch it if you don't catch it live. Spearfish at Pier and high school football coming up this Friday night from Hollister Field in Pier. There's not many grass fields in the state. I think Pier is one of them that has real life grass. And then
Saturday we have
college
football from Pueblo, Colorado. As Black Hills State, they'll see if they can finally get a win over the Thunderwolves, as BH, they have not yet won against CSU Pueblo since they have been in the D2 ranks.
Beautiful Pueblo, Colorado. 16-10, Spearfish up by 6. And this will be tapped over and a point for Keller and the Spearfish Spartans. Sneaky good is Addie Keller. 17-10. Back to serve is going to be Zanstra.
Yeah, just a sophomore too. Addie Keller, she's only going to get better and better, and especially have these upperclassmen roll through the program. She'll be in a big leadership role here in just in a few years.
Nice block there by the Belle Fourche Lady Bronx. That was Maya Bush. Now Belle Fourche trying to get it to the outside hitter position. That is Larson. Now back over to Spearfish. Spearfish, middle of the floor, but it's dug up by Belle Fourche. Good job defensively by the Bronx taking those hard hits. Here is Keller again. This one ricochets off part of the ceiling, and for about the 4th time tonight, Belle Fourche unable to get it down.
So that was a good job that time by Keller there on that hit from the outside. There, she's starting to really warm up her arm now and trying to close this game out. I hit it against Belle Fourche. Belle Fourche was able to dig it up, but they really weren't allowed to control it, so they just got their body behind it and really just take the kill, and that just gets Belle Fourche defensively out of rhythm.
And we want to say thanks to some more of our sponsors, Wolf's Plumbing and Heating. Thanks to them. Again, you can check them out at wolfph.com or call 605-642-5755. We'll be riding a roller coaster of weather emotions this week. Sometimes you'll have the AC on like tomorrow, and then other nights or even days you may want to have the heat on. So Wolf's Plumbing and Heating can make sure all that's ready to go with residential and commercial service. And after the game, we'll name our Superior Performance, brought to you by Superior Auto Solutions. Quite a few votes coming in for these Lady Spartan volleyball players on the votes. Find out more at KDSJ-980.com.
As now Kirk hits it to the back row. Keller there to clean it up. And Addison Keller, she is your closer if you're a Spearfish Spartan fan. That's good job that time by Kirk. It was blocked, but Addie Keller was right there. It's pretty much set up perfect for her just to jump up, nail that one to the ground, and now Spearfish just 6 points away from going home with a sweep over the rival Belle Fourche Lady Bronx.
On Spearfish's side, Reiners sends it diagonally over the net there from the front row. There's a nice block by Reiners with some help out there by Adeline Bowman. Back over to the Spearfish side. And I think she went into the net. Let's see what the violation is. A double hit?
I believe so. My volleyball lingo is also not well caught up to speed.
Two guys here that just kind of questioned everything that happened there, but we play on, and they don't give us an explanation, so we'll go with it. Here's a point for Belle Fourche, a nice block at the net, and that will make it 20-11.
Someone who Belle Fourche could really rely on defensively here in the coming years is a sophomore Maya Bush, 5'7". She's been playing the middle blocker position really well, is getting a lot of blocks, especially on these heavy Spearfish hitters. When she develops and gets stronger and gets a little more bounce to her game, as well as the rest of these Belle Fourche Lady Bronx, look out here in a few years, the Bronx, they could be right back where they were last year.
Again, Bush and Voiles are sophomores, and then Maya Nowajeski is just a freshman, and they're probably three of the best players on the team. Here's the point for Spearfish, and they did that perfectly from almost the back row, diagonally across the net, and it lands inbounds and just left the Belle Fourche Lady Bronx frozen. Coming out of the ball game, good effort tonight by Avery Kirk. She checks out for Spearfish. And we'll double check who came in, but we play on. Belle Fourche.
I believe Maya Durdal is now in the game for the Spartans.
See? Belle Fourche unable to get it up over the net. So a point for Spearfish to make it 22-11. The most points Belle Fourche has scored tonight has been 18. Now they're getting some more subs in here for Spearfish as Caitlin Wheaton will come in to the front row, getting a chance for some of these girls to get checked out and get recognized by the fans. Faith Hoffman comes out. And now here is Belle Fourche. They can't get it across as it was a block by the Spearfish Spartans. And a nice depth here again by Spearfish to bring in some extra girls, as they're going to need that as the season winds down. Here it is, set point, match point, 24-11. Belle Fourche gets it across over to the Spearfish side. Yackley with a set. Keller gets it blocked, and then Belle Fourche's block goes out of bounds. Point for Spearfish, and they get the Tuesday night sweep.
Yep, that time Addie Keller. This was pretty much the Addie Keller show this entire third set. Had a slow start, was able to get a few kills throughout the game, and then it really was just a different Spearfish Spartan each set. First set, it was Avery Kirk. Second set, you really saw Adeline Bowman. She got going in the second, and then finally in the third set, it was Addie Keller all day and every day. The sophomore really hitting it home, literally and figuratively, as the Spearfish Lady Spartans, they come out here with a rivalry sweep over the Belle Fourche Lady Broncs.
Spearfish wins their 16th match in a row as they improved to 17-5 on the season. The Belle Fourche Lady Broncs dropped this one at home tonight. They're yet to win a home match as they lose tonight 3-0 and are now 3-18 on the season and 2-10 in Black Hills Conference play. And we have a milestone here for the Spearfish Lady Spartans with 500 kills in a career, as head coach of the Spearfish Spartans, Shelby Budmeyer Richards, has a sign and will give it to Adeline Bowman, who's just hit the milestone of 500 kills in her career. Adeline Bowman is a junior for the Spartans, so if she keeps playing the way she has this year and then all of next year, she could get that big milestone of 1,000 kills in the career. We'll come on back with a post-game show next right here on KDSJ Sports on KDSJ Radio, 980 AM, 103.5 FM, KDSJ980.com with the KDSJ Sports mobile app, and live tonight on KDSJ-TV. We'll take a 2-minute break, and our post-game show is next.
Vehicles today are complicated and expensive. The professionals at Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Spearfish are here to guide you through everything automotive. From cars, trucks, and SUVs to parts and repairs, Junix takes the confusion out of automobile ownership. Enjoy the ride with Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Family owned since 1931 on West Jackson in Spearfish.
Whatever the weather, Wolf's Plumbing and Heating keeps you in the comfort zone with expert heating and air conditioning repair or replacement from American Standard Mitsubishi. For over 70 years, Wolf's Plumbing and Heating has delivered quality service to the Northern Hills and Northeast Wyoming. When you need timely, expert service for heating, cooling, or plumbing, call 605-642-5755 or search Wolf's Plumbing and Heating and stay in the comfort zone.
Fisher Sand and Gravel of Spearfish supports community and school athletics. Plus, they support community development with services in and around the Black Hills. Fisher is an aggregate company headquartered in Spearfish with 2 local commercial quarries in Beulah and Newcastle, Wyoming. They sell all sizes of aggregates for commercial and individual projects, from a pickup load to thousands of tons. Whatever you need, Fisher Sand and Gravel, proud supporter of all community, college, and high school athletics. Good luck to all teams and athletes competing in today's game.
Drive it on to victory with the Granite Home Team at Granite Automotive. Making all the right moves and scoring points for a better customer experience is a true team effort. From sales to finance, showroom to service, every Granite Home Team member has a role to play and a job to perform to make sure your next buying experience is your best buying experience. Enthusiastically on your side. Drive Granite. Go team. Go Granite. Buick, Nissan, GMC. Rapid City. Click drivegranite.com.
Back here at the Belle Fourche High School gym and the Belle Fourche Armory tonight, where the Bronx hosted the Spearfish Spartans for Black Hills Conference High School Volleyball, and our match of the week had the momentum go the Spearfish Spartans' way as they win it 3-0, 25-10, 25-18, and 25-11. Just so many good role players for the Spearfish Spartans as we hit this point of the season. Everybody's continuing to get in their groove. They had a week off to continue to improve. As Coach Richards was talking about how they did some things off the court, on the court. We know their setter, Callie Reiners, is going to be there. They have the libero and Yackley, and then so many girls that could get the points from Adeline Bowman. She just got her 500th kill of her career. Faith Hoffman had a good night tonight. Avery Kirk, and then third set, here's Addie Keller.
Yeah, again, 3 different Spearfish Lady Spartans, 3 different sets, but all the same result. As Spearfish, again, get their 16th win of the year. Belle Fourche, they did show some flashes defensively when they were able to get behind a kill. And, again, like what Coach Richard says on the Spearfish side, but really get your body behind the ball, be able to move and get your body behind it. It's a lot easier to stop. Might hurt, as that's what I figured when they say get your body behind the ball, because as we saw early in this game, as Spearfish Spartan defender spiking it right toward a Belle Fourche Bronc. Those are very hard to dig up, so I do not blame Belle Fourche there, but it's just that's with the experience that comes with playing an a Class AA team. So Spearfish, again, the heavy hitting and the experience really just kind of put over the younger and lesser experienced Lady Broncs here tonight.
Yeah, the Broncs struggled with some of those digs. A lot of them went too high in the air and then ricocheted off the ceiling. About 4 times that happened. And just the middle of the floor, just not the position they wanted after those nice attacks by Spearfish. And it was either they had to step back a couple of steps and the ball was still coming at them strong, and then it's tough to get the dig up from there. And Spearfish was doing it from the outside and the middle tonight. Again, the Belle Fourche Broncs, it's going to be a work in progress with only 1 senior. They lost 8 girls off of last year's squad, but we've seen Belle Fourche program always be good in volleyball, so I have faith in Coach Slick that she'll continue to get these girls better, as 3 of the best players on the team are freshmen and 2 sophomores, so the younger players are going to be stepping up as they go on. And they're going to have to be patient a little bit and just focus on a lot of the little things as we go along. Spearfish again on the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard tonight gets the win 3-0, 25-10, 25-18, and 25-11. We have your Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard yet to come. We'll name our superior performance and our player of the game. We'll see what's coming up for both of these teams and what's coming up for KDSJ Sports. We'll come on back with more from the Belle Fourche High School gym after this 2-minute timeout.
It's not 1, but 2 great locations in Spearfish to gas up and get what you need on the go. Exit 8 and Exit 14 Speedy Marts offer everything you need so you can get in and get out and get back on the road. Find your favorite snacks and a cold drink, or maybe something fresh from the kitchen or in the cold case. It's all homemade right here. And Exit 8 and Exit 14 offers top-tier fuels from Phillips 66, so you get the most from your transportation. Exit 8 and 14 Speedy Marts in Spearfish. Right off the road, right on the money.
Do-it-yourself made easy with help from Proline Equipment Rentals in Belle Fourche. Whether you're a full-fledged contractor or just taking care of some jobs around your home, Proline has the equipment you need. Lifts for any job, like scissor lifts, boom lifts, and man lifts. Skid steers, trenchers, backhoes, and more. Step inside to find smaller tools for do-it-yourself projects like concrete work, painting, sewer repair, and more. Call 723-7677. Click ProlineEquipmentRentals.com or stop by off North Highway 85 in Belle Fourche today.
For nearly 50 years, Lowe Roofing Incorporated has been the trusted name in commercial roofing across western South Dakota and eastern Wyoming. Family owned and operated since 1975, they bring quality craftsmanship and reliable service to every project, big or small. From repairs to new installations, Lowe Roofing Incorporated covers it all. Protect your business with the experts who care and products that last. Call 1-800-658-4543. Lowe Roofing Incorporated, building a legacy of trust, one roof at a time.
Welcome back to KDSJ Sports coverage of our high school volleyball match of the week tonight from Belle Fourche in the high school gym. As the Broncs lose one at home, they're yet to get a victory here on their home court, but I think it'll come. We'll talk a little bit more on what they have on the way on their schedule. Spearfish Lady Spartans just riding this groove now, 16 wins in a row. Every one you go in, you still have to play 3 full sets. You have to jump up and down, you have to get your serves going, you have to play defense, so it's not a gimme on any night in volleyball, but Spearfish is looking sharper as we go on through the season, getting the 3 games to none win here. Let's see, 25-10, 25-18, 25-11. It's time now to announce our superior performer and our player of the game. Here's Clayson Davis with that announcement.
I believe this is one of the harder games that we've had to try to get our superior performer or try to find one, but due to her milestone and just really being a force anywhere on the court, front row, back row, left side, right side, even in the middle, really was able to make an impact on the floor no matter where she was. But it is the junior for the Spearfish Lady Spartans, Adeline Bowman, outside / middle hitter at 5'6". Again, we don't have stats right here on KDSJ and KDSJ-TV. But I do believe if you were to look at her stats today, from a kill standpoint, also from the service line, also did a really good job too. Started off slow, had trouble versus the Belle Fourche block, but as the game went on, Spearfish found ways to feed her early and often. As again, Bowman, she leads the team in kills for Spearfish. I highly assume that will not change after this contest. And so far, it was just an overall dominant performance by the Lady Spartans. And the junior, Adeline Bowman, at the outside and middle hitter, she was a big part of it tonight.
She came in with 182 kills on the season, probably surpassed 200 on the season. She's passed 500 kills in her career. Adeline Bowman also is second on the team in service aces. She's the best one when it comes to service percentage at 94% on the year. Adeline Bowman also has 21 total blocks, which is second on the team. And so all around good athlete there for Adeline Bowman, putting together some stats tonight and getting her the superior performance, brought to you by Superior Auto Solutions. And you can call them at 605-642-9111 or see their inventory online at superioroutosd.com. That's Superior Auto Solutions with our superior performance. And of course, you can vote for the August and September superior performance. We put all of the performances that we had from football and volleyball together. You can vote on that through KDSJ980.com. Make your voice heard, get out and vote, and somebody will be given $100 to their respective school. So,
yeah, I do believe the last day of voting is either today or it is sometime this week. So if you haven't voted yet, please get to our website and make your voice heard and help give one of these schools here in the Northern Black Hills $100 to their athletic department.
Spearfish Spartans under head coach Shelby Budmeyer Richards. She played for the Belle Fourche Broncs, and now on the opposite side of things, leading the team to a win tonight on 3 straight sets, 25-10, 25-18, and 25-11, and a match that went 1 hour and 5 minutes. We'll come on back and have your Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard as our post-game show continues live tonight on KDSJ Sports.
marks the 50th anniversary of Pillin Optical. Since 1974, Pillin has dedicated its business to serving the community with quality eye care at a great price. The inventory has grown, giving you the widest selection of frames while maintaining the best prices for your family eye care needs. Your family is special, and Pillin Optical wants you to enjoy every minute clearly with them. After all, at Pillin Optical, quality eye care and customer service is the most important thing next to your sight. Pillin Optical, family owned for 50 years, 409 Kansas City Street.
What is it that makes you powerful? It's not only having a voice, but knowing that it's heard, loud and clear. We understand knowledge can change your life, and that energy will continue to power it. And because you're part of a Touchstone Energy Cooperative, we're always listening. Because you're more than just a customer, you're a member. And what's more powerful than that?
Powder River Energy, serving Northeast Wyoming since 1946.
A lot of land comes with a lot of work. The new Kubota MX Series has a lot to offer, including the versatility to mow, move hay bales, grade roads, and clear brush and snow. An optional spacious cab to keep you comfortable in any conditions. A front-end loader with excellent loader lift capacity, hydrostatic or gear transmission options, and affordably priced. Visit your local Kubota dealer today. See Butte County Equipment, located on U.S. Highway 212, Belle Fourche, or go online to automotivecompanyinc.com.
For over 20 years, there's been
to the Belle Fourche Armory and the Belle Fourche High School Gym, as tonight the Spearfish Spartans coming to town, made the short road trip and take care of business tonight as they win it 3-0. And now let's head it on over to Clayson Davis for tonight's Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard.
Yep, thank you. Looking at our scoreboard and see what scores we have in to us right now, as some games are still going on or we just don't have updates from them yet. But looking at our Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard, starting off with Class AA, number 2, Sioux Falls Jefferson, they took care of Mitchell 3-0. Sioux Falls Roosevelt took care of Huron in a score of 3-1. They won the final 3 sets in that contest. Watertown, number 5 in the polls, they took care of business versus Sioux Falls Lincoln, who would be Spearfish's opponent in the Sodak 16 if it started today. That score of that game was 3-0. Sioux Falls Washington 3-0 over Brookings, and it was Rapid City Stevens after winning the first set, dropping the second set to Douglas. Stevens, they beat the Douglas Lady Patriots 3-1. Meanwhile, again in Class A, if you just saw right here on KDSJ and KDSJ-TV, it was 3-0. The Spearfish Lady Spartans all over the Belle Fourche Lady Bronx. Still haven't got a score update from St. Thomas More Hill City. Those are the top 2 teams in Region 8A. So definitely want to see what goes on there. That game is at St. Thomas More High School. New Underwood and Lee Deadwood still don't have a score there as well. And in set 3, currently, between Rapid City Christian and Hot Springs, it is tied at 1 apiece there in Rapid City. No score between Red Cloud and Custer that I see right now. Let's go to Class B real quick, see if we have anything there. No updates so far, so that's all we have right now on the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard.
And we're back here at the Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth. Proud supporter of our sports this fall, as each week we do a high school volleyball game, each week we do a high school football game, and every week we do college football. So we stay busy and glad to do another game here on KDSJ Sports, covering the Bronx and Spearfish, right kind of here in our wheelhouse of the coverage of the Northern Black Hills. And we have more to get to, and we'll have a look at what else is coming up for both of these teams as we continue on through this already middle of October, just a couple weeks left of the regular season for high school volleyball for Class A and B, and then Class AA will go a little bit into November. We'll be back to finish up the broadcast when we return in 2 minutes here on KDSJ Sports.
For car repair in Spearfish and the Northern Black Hills, it's Auto Doctor, with their 2 ASC certified mechanics who each have over 40 years of experience, and their state-of-the-art facility. They'll treat your vehicle like it's theirs. From mechanical repairs, brakes, alignments, tires, AC work, and more, Auto Doctor also provides advanced diagnostics. From Audis to Volkswagens, if your car is ill, we're the pill. Auto Doctor off Exit 14 Heritage Drive, Spearfish.
The Goldust Casino invites you to try the new menu items now being offered at Maverick Steak and Cocktails. Watch the action as you dine inside the Goldust Casino with tables overlooking the gaming floor. Enjoy over 210 of the newest slot machines and table games in Deadwood. And use your club card for great discounts at the 2 hotels right in the middle of the action. Get reservations today by calling 605-559-1400 or visiting goldustdeadwood.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jet Rogers at Peak Family Chiropractic and Sports Performance.
We all take different paths in life. That's why we utilize multiple different treatments here at Peak. Our main treatment is our high-level chiropractic adjustment, but we also emphasize the use of cupping, scraping, vibration massage, trigger point therapy, and active care to promote movement, strength, mobility, and most of all, pain relief. Why travel to multiple locations when you can have total wellness under one roof? Stop in today and let's get you to your peak.
Jake's Collision Repair has built their reputation by offering the highest quality, guaranteed repairs in the area. Satisfied customers return again and again for everything from collision repair to custom paint, glass and windshield, and the best hail repair in the region. They're preferred by most insurance companies and work with all of them. Jake's Collision Repair of Spearfish and Sturgis. Give them a Google today for the best repair on your vehicle,
and
guaranteed.
Back to the Belle Fourche High School gym as we look and see what's coming up for these two teams, as well as what's on the way here for KDSJ Sports. For the Spearfish Spartans, their high school volleyball team is back in action again this Friday night when they will host Red Cloud. And the varsity match there at around 7 o'clock at the Spearfish High School gym. So the Spartans will try to continue their winning streak on Friday night, and another Black Hills Conference matchup in an interclass affair between Class AA and Class A. Coming up on Thursday for Spearfish Spartan Sports, their cross-country team will be at the Best of the West Invite, the last chance to run before state next weekend. That'll be down at the Hart Ranch, which that's where state will be. Also, there is the freshman team will be in a volleyball triangular with Sturgis, Campbell County, and Thunder Basin. That will be hosted by the Spearfish Spartans on Thursday evening. The competitive dance team will be at the Black Hills Conference Cheer and Dance Championships, which the Sturgis Scoopers are hosting. The dance team is right now over in Rapid City at the Cobbler Invite tonight. There's JV football on Thursday as well as they head to St. Thomas More. The varsity football team will head to Pierre on Friday night. We'll have that for you right here on KDSJ Sports as the Spartans take on the Governors, and that'll be all across our platforms. Saturday, there's Knowledge Bowl hosted by Spearfish, and then a neat thing that's going to be happening over at Lyle Hare Stadium. The Yellow Jackets do not play at home on Saturday, but all of the Northern Hills and Black Hills marching bands will have a competition there at Lyle Hare Stadium starting at 9 a.m. So if you want to take in some good music, and might be kind of cool outside, but kind of feel like it's football weather. So a Northern Hills and Black Hills marching band competition in Spearfish. Spartans have a really good pep band, and we heard the Belle Fourche pep band here tonight, so that might be fun to take in Saturday morning, and they put in as much time and effort as any of these athletes, so that is something on Saturday. For Belle Fourche, golf is done, soccer's done, they have volleyball and football left. And cross country. Of course, cross country will be at the regional championships this Thursday. The football team will be in action on Friday. And then the volleyball team, next up for the Lady Bronx, they will be in action on Thursday when they take on Red Cloud. They'll have to make the road trip down to Pine Ridge for that Black Hills Conference matchup. For KDSJ-TV and KDSJ Radio, what do we have coming up the rest of this week?
Either tomorrow or Thursday. Still yet to sort out some details, but we'll have our From the Bench podcast on KDSJ-TV on Facebook and on YouTube. If you want to rewatch any of those previous episodes or just rewatch any of our sports broadcasts as well, you can look us up online on KDSJ-TV on YouTube, or search our Facebook page at Black Hills Gold Hits KDSJ. All of our previous sports broadcasts and also our previous episodes of our From the Bench podcast will all be on those two sites. So if you want to go check those out, I highly recommend you do. Follow us on Facebook so you never miss any sort of news updates or another broadcast from the Bench podcast or here with KDSJ Local Sports. Subscribe to our Facebook page for that, and also subscribe to YouTube so you never miss a sports broadcast. We'll have highlight videos coming out at the end of the season, and also it'll just give us a nice little runway to lead us right into some basketball coming up here this winter. As that's what's coming up with our From the Bench podcast on Friday. Cody and I will be on the road again. We'll be in Pierre in the capital city of South Dakota as the Pierre Governors, the 7-time defending state Class AA champions, currently having a rough season so far at 3-4, but I mean, they are the Pierre Governors. They are the standard in Class AA. And number 2 Spearfish in a wild year of Class AA football. Anything could happen. So Spearfish ranked number 2 in the state after beating Douglas last week. Need to be on their A game for the Pierre Governors, and KDSJ-TV will be right there to give you the action on Friday from Hollister Football Field.
And then on Saturday, it's radio only for Black Hills State at Colorado School, CSU Pueblo. That'll be down in Pueblo, Colorado. Let's see, that's a 1 o'clock Mountain Time start Saturday. Steve Emmerman with the call as we go up against another good team there in the RMAC on Saturday. Again, our superior performer tonight, the player of the game, goes to Adeline Bowman, the junior outside hitter and middle hitter. Had some kills tonight, did a great defensive job, and she goes over 500 kills in her career as a Spearfish Lady Spartan, as the Spartans win it through the Junix Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram scoreboard. One last look. Spearfish wins it 25-10, 25-18, and 25-11. Spearfish wins number 16 in a row. They're now 17-5 overall in the season. They improved to 8-1 in the Black Hills Conference. Belle Fourche, on the other hand, drops to 3-18 on the year, 2-10 in Black Hills Conference play. Both teams still have some action this week as they both take on a Red Cloud. Belle Fourche will make the road trip down to Red Cloud on Thursday. Spearfish will host Red Cloud on Friday. That'll do us for another KDSJ Sports broadcast for KDSJ-TV. Clayson Davis over there taking care of things. Thanks for watching, tuning in, listening, on and off, whatever you may have been doing tonight. Join us again in our next broadcast, which we will be live from Pierre on Friday night for some high school football. Big thanks to our sponsors as well, as we give a big shout-out, including to the Gold Dust and Mavericks right there on Main Street, Deadwood. Thanks to Fisher Sand and Gravel. And live tonight from the Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine broadcast booth. Good night.